Contents of the building, introduction, types of building, building components and their requirements, structural system of building, load bearing structure, frame structure, comparison between the load bearing and frame structure. About building. Building is a kind of structure which is built with materials and including with foundation, plinth, walls, roofs and plumbing. Building is defined as any structure for whatever purpose and of whatever material constructed or every part of therefore whether used as human habitation or not and includes a foundation, plinth and structure. Superstructure. Types of building. Building can be load bearing masonry buildings, buildings with RCC or steel frame structures. There are many different types of buildings such as residential buildings, schools, colleges, universities, mosques, churches, temples, hospitals, factories, workshops, etc. Um, According to the National Building Code of India 1970, based on occupancy, the buildings are classified as residential building. This is the type of building is used for normal residential purposes. Educational building. This building is used as a university, colleges, schools, etc. Institutional building. This type of building is related to education, public works, etc. Assembly buildings is used for gathering for such purposes as auditorium, conference rooms, etc. Business buildings, it is used for offices, banks, etc. Mercantile buildings, this type of buildings is used for housing, shops, stores, showrooms, uh, etc. Industrial buildings, they include manufacturing units, assembly plants, etc. Storage buildings, it is used for the storage of commodities, uh, goods, mercantiles, etc. Hazardous buildings means any building which, because of inadequate maintenance, physical damage, etc. Building components and their requirement. Building components or parts are essential materials for building construction works. All buildings are built with similar components such as foundations, walls, floors, rooms, and roofs. Buildings require plant, plasters, supplied electricity, and decorating or renovation to properly complete doors and windows fittings, fencing, and other exterior tasks. All these works are called building services. A building has three basic requirements and components. First is the foundation, second is the plinth, and third is the superstructure. The the beams, columns, stairs, parapets, etc. These are the components of the building. Uh, Foundation. Foundation is the lower portion of a building structure. The foundation has two types: shallow foundation and deep foundation. Shallow foundation have four types: stack footing, combined footing, rock footing or mat footing, isolated footing. And deep foundation have two types: pile foundation and well foundation. Plinth. A plinth level forms the foundation of a house. It is a rectangular block of stone. The main function of plinth in construction is to distribute the load of the column over the foundation. Superstructure. The superstructure is the portion of a building which is constructed above the ground level. It includes columns, beams, floorings, lintels, etc. The structural system of building. Structural system of building have two types: load bearing structure and frame structure. The load bearing structure, in load bearing structure is each wall is a structural member and weight of slab is carried by the walls and transferred to the foundation. Frame structure. In frame structure, the wall are not structural members. They do not carry the weight of the slab, and network or frames made up of columns and beams carried by the slab. This photo is the shows that load bearing structure and frame structure. Comparison between the load bearing structure and frame structure. Load bearing structure. The load bearing structure consists of heavy masonry walls of brick or stone that support the entire structure. Frame structure. The frame structure consists of beam, column, and slab. Load bearing structure. In load bearing, walls are thicker. Frame structure. The walls are thinner. Load bearing structure. Excavation for this type of building, this type of construction is more. Frame structure. The excavation for this type of construction is less for a similar building. Load bearing structure, it is more labor intensive. Frame structure, it is less labor intensive, but it needs different skills. Load bearing structure, speed of construction is less, and frame structure, the speed of construction is more. Load bearing structure, cost of repair of load bearing structure is less, and the frame structure, cost of repair of frame structure is more. Thank you.